All right, well, I got some cider today. I'm being very not fancy at all. There's no hard liquor for me here, but it's pretty tasty. What do we got going on there? Michelle, I'm guessing a Budweiser or a Coors?
Oh my God, a Budweiser? How?
Heineken?
You've just insulted the hell out of me.
Pabst?
No. What? You're mentioning
What do
like
you
the
got?
shittiest beers on the planet.
Because I know you have the best beer ever sitting in front of you.
No, you know what? I thought I'd mess with you.
Fuck, I've got to grab onto something.
There was a while where I was not able to get Guinness, so I had to resort to something else that I thought might taste good. And I had a couple left in the fridge, and I'm like, I'm gonna fuck with the guys. So I am having Iron Horse Brewery's Cozy Sweater.
Nice.
All right.
It's like a vanilla milk stout.
Okay.
And Iron
Ooh,
Horse.
nice.
Iron
That
Horse.
sounds fucking good.
Yeah, they
I
make
want that.
they make Irish Death beer. If you've ever had that, it's excellent, and it's got a lot of alcohol in it, so don't drink a lot of that. But yeah,
So
yes,
be careful.
Cozy Sweater.
Very nice. Excellent. And how about you, Matthew?
Well, I got 3 bottles here, and you guys are gonna help me choose.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Okay, got this is the Fuggles and Warlock, which Strawberry Vit, which is not nearly as nauseating as it sounds.
Oh, it looks pretty good. I like the
It's-
name.
It's
just
more
already.
of a summer beer. Fuggles and Warlock.
Little anime there. All right.
I don't know about that.
Another Fuggles and Warlock, which I have not tried before. This is the Dark Cow.
All right. We got a Darth Vader-esque kind of
Yeah.
cow going on. But that's cow. It's very No Man's
Chocolate.
Snowy in its own way. It's like,
Chocolate
Yeah.
hazelnut Belgian stout. Actually, yeah, you're right. It kind of looks like the cover of Wrong, doesn't it?
yeah, a little bit. So
Yeah.
that's wins
Chocolate
so far for that.
hazelnut.
And both of
Stout.
that, Fuggles and Warlock is a local Vancouver brewery. And then this is Hoyne. This is from Victoria, BC. Hoyne Dark Matter.
Look at that.
Ooh, I really like that one, but I kind of got to go with the cow because it's a No Man's
right.
Snow podcast. So
All right.
Wait a minute. Wait, hello. Don't I have a
Wait,
say
no,
in
she
this?
gets a vote.
That's
She
true.
gets a
That's
vote.
true. You do.
What was the dark matter? What was the
Dark Matter is it's a dark lager. Yeah.
All right, no,
You'd-
I'm going to go
you'd
with
like
a
it.
stout. No, I would, but I'm going to go with that hazelnut chocolate sexual stout right there.
That's what I'm doing.
Nice.
man.
That's it.
All right, everybody. So
All right.
you've stuck with us this long, talking about fucking drinking, and welcome
Sexual
to
chocolate.
Beers you probably can't get.
Sexual
welcome
chocolate,
to-
everybody.
welcome to No Means Nothing, a podcast where we don't just talk about what we're drinking, but we talk about No Means No, the very best band in the entire universe. And we are making our way through the catalog. I'd say we're about halfway through now, something like that, probably. Just a few more to go.
Just a few.
we crown
Just
a
a
winner.
couple.
Just a couple more, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, big thanks to everyone who's been listening. It's and I think we've already probably said this enough, but we're real pleased with how many people are digging it. So we appreciate that. Thanks for reaching out
Yeah.
and contacting us in all the places. It really means a lot. It's been really great to hear from all of you.
I'm not pleased with the Finns, and I'm not pleased with the Swiss.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
get your
Everyone
acts
else
together.
Everyone else rules.
Yeah. We have almost all 50 states. We have almost all of Canada, most of Australia now. But those
Yeah, PEI.
fucking
What's up with
Swiss-
PEI?
What's
yeah.
with Florida's listening?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
Florida's
got
listening
Florida.
a lot.
Florida man's out there, or Florida woman,
Holy
or Florida
crap.
they, whichever. That's
Oh
pretty
my
great.
gosh.
In any
Wow.
event, enough self-congratulation. You're not
Right.
here for that. You're here because you want to hear which of your babies we're going to kill today.
Oh god.
And,
I'm
let's
not.
put 'em
I'm
up.
not looking forward to tonight. I'm really not.
It's going to be hard.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it in the sense that I love every single one of these songs, and I am not looking forward to sending any of them
No, that's what I mean.
to the bottom. It is going to be hard, but I'm looking forward to talking about them. So, with no more preamble, let's just introduce what this first pair up is. The first pair up is
A punch in the nuts is what it is.
Real Love
Uh huh.
off of Small Parts Isolated and Destroyed 1988. Or The Day Everything Became Isolated and Destroyed, if you want to talk about the compilation CD. And strangely, the random generated gods happened to pair it against the song that comes right after it, Lonely, on the same
Yep.
What are the fucking odds? I mean, if we have some
Just a
statistician
lonely
fans
guy.
out there for us, Could you work out what the actual odds of that are in
Yep.
randomness? Because that's fucking nuts
Yeah,
and
it's
hard
weird.
as hell.
Yeah, very
And
hard.
I mean, exciting. It's a lot to talk about, but shit, those are two songs I don't want to put against each other. I just want to listen to them back to back. That's all.
What about half of one and half of the other? That makes one, doesn't
Can't
it?
do it.
You know
Can't
what I'm
do
saying?
it. We can't pussy out on this. We gotta fucking go. We gotta do it. We gotta pick. But before we pick, we gotta talk about them. And before we
Yeah.
talk about them, we gotta hear a little clip. So here's a bit of the mighty
Ghost,
Real Love.
it will pass through you. A spirit that lives on when you are through. And there is nothing that you can do. There is nothing that you can do. The wind in the trees, the smell of wet leaves, the rumble of a passing truck, a streak of blood. Please forgive me for what I've done to you. And Lord, forgive me for what I'm going to do. In the name of...
All right, Matthew. Bring us home. What do you think of this
I have to go first on this one.
song? You're
Okay.
first, buddy.
This song, it's in favorite song territory for me. So it's a very very difficult. I thought it would be easier as I keep coming up with this. Anyway, has some of my favorite lyrics of any No Means No song. Some of the ones that I think of most often. It's long, but there is no fat to trim. It is an epic. It's one of those ones I don't remember which song I said, but it kind of could be. I sort of think of it in terms of like 70s hard rock epic from a Rush album with Roman numerals. It's got
That's in my notes.
It's got acts. It's got parts. It's got yeah. But
Gravity.
after having listened to it a bunch of times in preparation for this, I don't know whether I like it as much as I used to. I don't know whether it resonates the same way that it used to.
Have you lost that love and feeling?
I don't know.
Don't worry, I'll clip that part out of the podcast.
Maybe I am. I'm not a musical guy. I'm a percussion guy. But is it major or minor chords, Michelle?
Oh, talk about put me on the spot. I think there's a bit of major chords in there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. It
Yeah.
sounds for such a massive,
Bum, bum, bum. Yeah,
murderous.
that's a major bum, boom. Yeah,
for a murderous sounding song.
yeah.
I mean, it's actually quite, and for a song about the oblivion that real love will bring you. It's actually kind of got an optimistic feel, which has that No Means No contrast that I always enjoy so much.
Yeah, but this one's hidden really well. This is hidden. It's not like right out there.
No.
You got to push through the sludge.
I love the reverb on the vocals. It sounds like in such a massive space, like you are just insignificant, and there's all these forces around you. I love the tom fills deep in the chest. I love the pacing of it. It's quite a slow song as far as No Means No songs go. But I mean, so many lyrics from it. I mean, and First a gentle murmur that calls from a heart, and then a great
fuck.
wind that will blow you apart. And
So
the
good.
emotion in Rob's vocals in this song, and the contrast in that as well, is just really pulls the feels out of me. But in the name of how can you? Yeah. But I mean, I love the message. Love is dangerous. It is bigger than you. It is not rational. It is a force that is outside your comprehension. Can you feel it? Can you feel that wind on your face? It's ominous.
Yeah.
And it is something that will happen to you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
So, and then there's some subtlety to it, like a ghost, it'll pass through you. This the all-consuming nature of love, and it as a force and a power, and not something to be romanticized at all. So, absolutely love this
Mystic
song.
love.
And I love the way it kind of ends after being so tightly controlled in terms of its structure, and then it ends really in a chaotic mess that leads right into Lonely.
Shh.
Yeah, song.
Shh. Not yet.
No, I know. This is
So I guess
this
we
is a
know
tough
what
one,
happened
so-
to this real love. He got lonely.
anyway. I absolutely adore this song. It is very, very difficult to. I've talked about why I like it. It's going to be really, really difficult to compare it to anything, much less think about tossing it aside. So
Yeah.
that's about all I have to say right now.
Well,
All right.
I mean, you've got a lot of what I had down there on my notes, right? The very first thing I wrote was that this is like a 70s ballad anthem, right? This is as close as No Means No gets to arena rock. And other than Old, which comes much, much, much later, this has got to be their slowest song, right? The tempo of this has to be their just on the metronome side of it, their slowest song. Maybe not, but it feels like it. But it is so, I know, I'm not going to put a stake in that for sure.
No, I don't know if it's their slowest one, but it's one of
But-
them for sure.
It certainly was one of their first. This is the longest one of their songs thus far up to this point, right? This at clocking in at 9:57. Now Slade is close. It comes in at 9:07, and I'll talk a little bit about it. Some resonances between that. I think Slade sort of finds his way on a bunch of these songs, but it is, as you said, Matthew, it's 9:57, and not an ounce of fat, not a millimeter of this song should go. Everything is where it needs to be. And this was one of the songs I remember first encountering it, how much it hit me that this band was looking to talk about capital T truth. There was no sentimentality. There was no individual little subjectivity of them as people. It's maybe the universal subjectivity of things, but they're talking about love as the terrifying universal force that it is. And I'd never encountered a band when I heard this that love wasn't sung about in just pablum, and even when it's coming out of Leonard Cohen, that's bad comparison. Almost everybody else that it would come out of, there's just an era of sentimentality. It was the most sung about subject in all of rock.
Yeah. There's no stickiness to this song except maybe the streak of blood.
But you mentioned like how there's all this sort of gravity and maybe darkness to it. It is in major chords. It's not denigrating love, right? It's not like love is shit or love is bad in a very simplistic way. It's really just talking about it as being awesome in the true meaning of the word, something that is both glorious and terrifying at the same time. Something that's just, a cosmic force. And another thing you talk about, Matthew, that I fully agree with is Rob's delivery. It is epic the way
he feels
the passion in this song is so honest. It's so honest, and just every tiny bit of phrasing he has, when he gets quiet, when he gets loud, it never fails to slay me each and every fucking time. Those little,
Slay.
the wind in the trees, the smell of wet leaves, the rumble of a passing truck, and then John gets the drums to, you feel the rumble of the passing truck, and then the streak of blood. It's just these images. And I'm sorry, but if you're a true No Means No fan and you don't have a different relationship to seeing Crows after this song,
exactly,
then I don't think you're a real No Means No fan, I'm afraid. I've a petty small aside, the one shirt that I always wished I had that I never got was the guy looking up at the crow on the telephone pole. I thought that was one of their most beautiful shirts.
I've got one with just a crow on it. And
it's fucking...
I live in East Vancouver, and Rob lives in Burnaby, a little bit further east than I do. He probably lives on the same jet stream. And every night, all the crows from Vancouver, they're flying along this path, and they go and they roost in Deer Lake and Burnaby Lake parks. And there's just thousands and thousands and thousands of crows
shit.
every dusk going right over my house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
How about that?
So I had mentioned Slade, which is one of my other favorite songs, and I'm not looking forward to seeing what it goes up against, which will automatically lose. This feels like when Slade talks about, shutting out the precious light from above, murdering love. This feels like the kind of love he's talking about. Like it's that cosmic force that he's trying to shut out. Right. And so I don't know that there's another song out there that I've ever encountered. And again, I don't have a huge net that I cast on this kind of shit, but that has shook me to the core as much, or that I relate to. It's not a breakup song. This is not a song. It's just a capital T truth song. And they have a number of those. But this one, I don't know, even my wife, who's not a No Means No fan, really relates to this song, right? Like, I just feel like you can relate to the song regardless of well, maybe not, but I would hope that you could, because it's not sentimental in any way. And the music in this, the way that it builds, the way that kind of you talk about the acts, the way each of the acts builds, and the way that Rob just has this beautiful steady bass line, and John is just, again, painting this. He's this other god, like Rob's on the earth, the John's up in the sky, just this other god.
Other god.
Andy's just this Hermes moving back and forth in these like haunting little licks and riffs.
Hear that, Andy? You're Hermes.
Them. Yeah, you're Hermes. And it's so fucking beautiful. And
Here
then the explosion at the end, just like fucking love, right? The slow build into just its explosion, and then just the way it ends, where it just ends in an echo, just right? It's masterful. It's fucking masterful.
Yeah. Art.
So, Andy, do those wings on your feet, do they tickle?
Yeah. They tickle me.
Oh,
but I'll tell you what, this song is like thunder, and this song is like lightning.
It's like lightning.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got to say about it. I could have an entire podcast probably just fucking talking about this song, but I'm already lost in it. So
wow, no,
what do you think, Michelle?
Hey, look, this is another one of Rob's epic masterpieces. It's just Rob with a capital R. The slow music after the verses, I don't know if you could call it a chorus. It's just kind of a chorus without words, and it's Rob is such a master of ripping his heart out, screaming at it, and then shoving it back into himself. I love the sludge feeling and unsureness that comes over you when you hear this song. It's a towering truth. Hey, a towering truth with feelings and emotions and equally huge lyrics laid out all over the place. I'm reading this. Sadly. I love the crow. I'm a fan of the crow throughout the song. And the something so strictly personal scream.
Oh, yeah.
Are you Jesus Christ? Come on.
Jesus Christ.
Strictly personal.
Totally serious song, and they have to inject the humor into it.
It's something so strictly personal. And then as you kind of said, Jordan, the nod to the disco song "Knock on Wood" with the lyrics, "It's thunder. It's like thunder. It's like lightning. The way you love me is frightening." That's from that disco song "Knock on Wood."
I didn't know
Hilarious.
that. That's amazing.
Am I
That's
right?
fucking great.
It's not. It's fucking Knock on Wood.
That's
The way
fantastic.
you
I
love
didn't
me,
know
it's
that.
frightening. You better knock on wood, baby.
Oh, wow.
Ooh,
Nice.
ooh, ooh,
Nice.
ooh, ooh. Yeah, listen to it.
Even more connection to
It's
the
like
70s
thunder.
ballads.
It's like lightning. The way you love me is frightening. That's
Oh,
from
wow.
the
great.
Knock on Wood disco song.
That's fantastic.
Amazing.
I think. But
fantastic.
anyways, mammoth piece of music. Mammoth.
Mammoth.
So,
If you're gonna write a song called Real Love, it's either gonna suck or be really good. And
Thank God.
this one
was
does
real
not
good.
suck. That's right.
when somebody on the No Means No Facebook group said, describe No Means No in 2 words, I said real love.
Oh,
Nice. Nice.
Perfect.
That's perfect, actually.
Did I just
All right.
sing on this? That's going to be really awful.
was amazing.
Can you
Oh,
take
it's
it
fantastic. I'm not taking that
No.
out. We're playing
No,
it on
please.
loop.
out? Come on.
I'm going to loop it.
Oh, God.
Nope.
And you know, Michelle, I'm glad that you ended with this sort of No Means No taking the piss out of themselves, like the humor that is inevitable.
Yeah.
in most of their-
Exactly.
even their serious songs. And I feel we would be remiss not
I
to
got to
mention.
make sure that that's exactly
the-
what happened, but I think that's the words to that song. Can you look it up right now so you can tell me I'm full of shit? It's
I
called
was just gonna mention
Knock on Wood. Oh,
that
all
we
right,
would
I'm
be
sorry.
remiss not to mention the shovelhead version of Real Love. Real Love,
Oh,
real
yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You know,
awesome.
it's for me, it's maybe one of No Means No's most earnest, serious songs. And of course, Scott Henderson needed to take the piss out of him.
That's
Yep.
what he does, and
'Cause
they
that's
love
what
him
he
for
does.
it.
Sure. And guess what? Knock
What?
on wood, 1979. It's like thunder, lightning. The way you love me,
Way you love me.
is frightening.
Oh yeah!
You nailed it. Nailed it.
Who sings that? Does it say or no? Because it's
No,
not
you were
me.
right. Knock on wood. Amy
No, what's
Stewart.
who's?
Oh,
Amy
Amy
Stewart.
Stewart.
Oh, I'm totally listening to that after this.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
it's on there.
Maybe
I
we'll
think
make
I
that a
caught
new
that the
intro.
first time. Like
I
that
never
heard
caught
it.
it.
I'm like,
That's
those
fucking
are the
great.
words to that
You
goddamn
learn something
disco
every
song.
day.
Right.
All right.
You
All right.
know,
We're 20
the-
minutes in and we're one song down.
One song. And the last thing I'm going to say about it, though, is out of the 4 songs tonight, it's the only one out of the 4 that does not mention lies.
Ah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I'm going to come back
Looking
to
at
that
my
probably.
notes, I don't think I wrote that.
All right. Well, next up is its companion on the album,
Jesus.
rounding out a brilliant album, Lonely. So let's get a little lonely here and listen to a clip.
You're a solid block of wood. You have eyes, but cannot see why I despise your company. I am lonely. I am lonely.
All right. So lonely, Michelle. This time you're on the block. What are you going to say about this this little ditty?
I thought I'm not supposed to go next. Am I?
No, you're right. I'm wrong as usual. It's Matthew still.
Oh, yeah,
he's up.
okay.
You're up first for the second round, so Matthew gets
Bring
to
it.
go first.
It's almost hard for me to distinguish these songs because, especially,
Right.
they're adjacent and they're also penultimate and last
Penultimate.
on the album.
Oh, that's
The
a
last,
hot
the
word.
last, the last.
And Lonely as the last song on the album, on all versions of it, as far as I'm aware, because they added the EP to the beginning. Lonely's the last song, and it is such a great last song because it is so quiet.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. It's such a quiet, and it's got that sort of very, very.
Yeah.
The thing that I like most about Andy, very Andy heavy songs, where there's this barely suppressed energy, and there's still the silliness, but there's also the anger and snottiness. I love the bass chromatics. Is that the correct term, Michelle?
I don't know where you're talking about in the song.
Do 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 dling, where it's just shines, and anyway.
No, there's no chromatics except when. Well,
Okay, whatever he's doing there.
that's like an arpeggio or something.
Okay, where it really rings though, and there's a whole bunch of tones in the ringing. I don't know. It's such a.
Oh yeah, there's some clusters in there.
It almost reminds me. I mean,
clusters.
I hate to sort of invoke Pink Floyd here, but like the blackness, the darkness, the emptiness of the cover of Dark Side of the Moon with the prism and the sort of bright little colors that sort of shine out of the darkness as Andy is talking, mumbling to himself. The echo on you either know or down you go into the pit of shallow wit.
Shallow wit.
Yeah.
I mean,
With all the other hypocrites.
I've done some thinking about what this song means, and it's sort of I'd prefer to be lonely because people are inconsistent, people lie, but then the last song, I'm alone with you because that's all that's true, is that we're always alone because everybody lies. We never know. I'm alone with you because you're not really you.
Deep.
And of course, the contrast of the really, really quiet, introspective feeling of the first part of the song, and then it gets into a total hardcore bash. And that was amazing.
Yeah.
And we are all liars. So I guess we're alone because people suck. Everybody sucks. But then, the way
He's
the
sharing
song
the song
ends
with us.
off, the album ends off. It's just quiet, and I love the song. I love the contrast, and it's interesting to be lonely when the album has ended.
Yeah. And like you, I think this is the perfect companion to Real Love.
Deep.
It's real. I'm in a way glad that we get to talk about these side by side, but I'm not happy to have to send one away. Again, to bring up Slade, like this to me feels like this is the guy who got cut off from Real Love. This is the guy who's this almost strikes me as I'm sure there's some corner of Andy or Rob or John who this is true for. I mean, it's true for all of us, a part of us, if nothing else. But on its extreme, like this strikes me as like I remember standing in the corner at the party, just feeling completely isolated from everybody, in the middle of everybody, of feeling too smart for my own good, of feeling that cut off from others because, that good intent and honesty don't redeem stupidity line, right? That is such a brutal and cynical line that I have fucking felt myself before, right? I'm not immune to that. And it really, like, this is the guy Slade's talking to. I'm not literally, but it strikes me as the guy Slade's talking to, who's just said, yeah, I'm going to fucking listen and fuck these blocks of wood. We're all shit. You might be more shit, but we're all shit. And
thank you.
Yeah, it's terrifying. And Andy's performance in this is really subtle. And one of the things I love of the contrast between this and Real Love, Rob is so distant and massive, right? And Andy's right up close to you.
I know.
The
Yeah.
vocals are right here.
That's me.
And it's like he's right over your shoulder the whole fucking time. And that I was just gonna say that little laugh at the end seals the whole fucking thing, right? That is the most sinister, cynical, beautiful closing. No Means No has put some epic closings on their songs. And I want to give credit and take a moment every time we hit one of the closing songs to talk about how effective it is as a closing song. And even though this is my little minute, like anybody can jump in here. But to me, this is There's many. I don't think that every song they've ever closed an album with is a masterwork in sequencing. This though is
Hey,
a
now.
fucking masterwork in
Hello.
sequencing. It's the absolute perfect way for this album to end. It's the perfect closing statement for this album. And Andy's delivery is fucking perfect. Fucking perfect. And to have it come off Real Love, which is such a terrifying, and yet when you're in front of such a universal force, there's something vivifying about that, right? Something so expansive when you let it in. And I feel so expansive about it. Then to be collapsed down into a song that's so intimate and cynical is the best kind of whiplash. It is.
They're fucking prophets.
It's just amazing. It's perfect and scary as hell. This song is scary as hell. And gorgeous. So what do you think, Michelle?
Well, I can't follow you.
Bullshit.
Oh. I wrote that it's hauntingly alone and cool, and I love the ominousness of it, and the simplicity of the music and how it grabs you. It's very intimate.
Yes.
Very intimate. Yeah.
The "I am lonely" part is particularly nice. I wrote with the arpeggios, but then Andy's doing this half step thing with "I am" along with the arpeggios. It just gives you that sense of like it's not good right now. The half step is so powerful. Everybody knows the half step in music is Jaws. Something bad's gonna come up and get you. That is a half step. So Andy's doing that with his voice, so you know that the shark's gonna grab your ass, or other things in that same feeling. You know, you're gonna get eaten by a shark. You're gonna be lonely and scared.
Damn.
The punk blowout is a huge gem in the piece. And I do think this sounds a lot like, if I was to compare it to anything else, any other music that I enjoy that's really good and heady and intimate like this, it's Wire. This sounds a lot like Wire and how they construct their songs. And I think, and I don't know.
Pretty sure Andy was a big Wire fan.
Yeah. I he's actually told me that he was. So this might be around the time he was listening to him a lot. But I mean, I think once you're a fan of them, you're always listening to them because they're fantastic. Yeah. But yeah, this sounds very.
You say that. I wonder how exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of an Andy song this is, right? Like, I wonder, because I know they each took their hands in certain songs.
But does it say who wrote it? Is this?
Well, they never. Andy
didn't
let himself get attributed to anything in this era. He was always like the monkey on guitar. Like, they didn't even put his fucking name on the album.
He's a mystery man.
So
He's
I
a
don't know
mystery
exactly.
man. That's why.
But this feels like an Andy song to me. It feels like something. Not only because he's singing it, but just it's.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's composition.
Yeah, the composition exactly.
Yeah,
and I'm so glad you mentioned that half tone, because that is the half step. I love that part. It is so fucking good.
You know,
it just resonates in your guts.
I think that the character in this song is a character who was watching the political science major from Big Dick.
Yes, he's in the corner watching that guy corner the girl. Oh, hell yeah! Oh, shit.
It's the same guy singing.
Yep.
He was at the party.
That's hilarious. Damn.
Oh,
all right,
God,
well,
we've been
avoiding this. We've been avoiding this, but we can't. I think this is the hardest one I've had yet.
Yeah,
man.
I agreed.
Luckily, I'm not first. Matthew, you're first.
Oh, God.
What do you think, brother? I'm fuck.
I can't. I'm not even going to look at you.
I think because of what it's meant to me, and even though I'm kind of like looking back, and I think I like the structure of Lonely more. But lyrically, I got to give it to Real Love. And it's the lyrics that do it. Real Love's got to pass by for me. And it is by an atom.
A pube.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, God, this
is a very hard one for me, too. But Real Love, its epicness, its universalness, its largesse, all of it, which shouldn't overwrite the intimateness of of Lonely, but it just does. Since I've just got to make a choice, I've got to go from the guts. And for me, it's Real Love. But this is not easy. It's not easy. These are both top songs for me.
Oh,
so
man, it's the micro versus the macro. It's really hard to deal with.
Exactly. All right. Well, we already know it's going through, Michelle, but what's your vote? What do you add
You
to
know
the
what?
pile?
I had a hard think about it today, and I did agree with both of you that Real Love is the one I'm going to pick. However, I had to think about it for like a week because I can't. It's apples to oranges. It's just they're both fantastic pieces of music in their own right. And
I wasn't 100% certain until I just said what I just said.
It was harder the fact that they came
Really?
together than if they'd been paired up against anything else, because they are so singular to me. They're so together. They're so related that it feels like separating twins, right? Like what the
Right.
Separating Siamese twins.
Yeah, separating Siamese twins, and one of them is going to die from the surgery, right? Like I don't want to. All right. Okay. Well,
Okay.
we made our choice. People, half of our audience are now screaming into their microphones. I hear you. I agree. Are we wrong? No, but of course the choice we've made. So let's move on to our second pairing, which is also a very, very interesting.
I need a lay
pairing.
down. I need a lay down.
Lay down
after
off that one. I'm feeling pretty lonely, guys. So our pairing is
Yep.
Madness and Death off of Why Do They Call Me Mr. Happy, 1993. And it was on the LP, so this is one of the ones that's not an added song on the CD, I believe.
Is this the first one off of that album?
No,
might be.
no. That's no. That's Land of the Living.
Okay.
This one's three.
No,
in.
I mean
And-
the first one that we've dealt with.
Oh, sorry. Duh. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
This is the first Mr. Happy song.
Okay.
How about that?
Yep. So Madness and Death versus All Lies off of Wrong, 1989. And it's All Lies, the closing song on the LP, which I think is very critical. Something I'm sure will come up. This is not on the original. I mean, this is on the original LP and is the closing song, as we've kind of talked about when we talked about Life in Hell. All right. So this time, the person who has to deal with going first is Michelle.
Oh boy.
Madness and Death.
Oh.
Wait. Before you do that, I'm going to remember to let the audience hear a little bit of the Madness and Death.
Just in being alive. And when I look inside of me, I see love, faith, and fidelity. Within the dark night of the soul, their lives are hidden, warm and glow. And if that glow were blue and white, could you sleep dreamless through the night? But if that glow were red and black, would you want your money back? It's hard enough just to survive, just to be alive. It's hard enough just to survive, just to be alive.
All right. Hit us.
Hit me. All right. I love the beginning of this song, and the music in this is pretty snarly with the guitar and the bass intertwining. It's very hinting of some of their later on song structures, I think. The instrumental breaks are just glorious, raunchy, and cool. And I do love the respect part with the Madness and Death churning in the back. There's some great examples of when they're playing one note and kicking the shit out of it with delivery. The guitar solo at the end is completely fucked. And just when you think it couldn't get any better, it leads into the Happy Bridge. Seamlessly into the Happy Bridge.
Yeah. A quick question. Do you think that guitar solo at the end is a guitar solo in the same way that the Slowly Melting guitar solo was? By which I mean not a guitar solo and actually a
I don't know what
keyboard
that was.
solo? Because it sounds reminiscent of that. of the
No,
slowly
there's a
melting.
guitar in the Madness.
There is a
and
guitar
Death.
in the song, but that riff at the solo at the end, I don't know. It feels a little bit
I don't
Madness
know.
and
I
Deathy
wish
to
I
me.
could hear it right now. Well, I don't know.
Listen again when you hear and let me know what you think, because I'd be curious.
Well,
I'm just
all right,
wondering if
all right.
John did that trick anywhere else on the album, because I know he does it on Slowly Melting. So I'm just
How about
wondering if that
that?
shows anymore. Because
Well,
I don't
maybe.
know that I know Rob's a really good guitar player, but I don't know that that he does solos, right? Like I never have any other examples of Rob doing ripping solos, right? Except for that, of course. Anyway, that's
Right.
that's a digression.
I don't
All
know.
right,
I'd like to get more information.
Do you have anything else you want to say about this banger?
I think I'm done.
All right, so I'll go next. So this is a real Rob banger, right? And so this Mr. Happy, famously a just John and Rob project, so has a much different feel. And I fucking love this album. So I love all the songs on this, and I love the way actually it comes in from Machine. You've got Machine ending with that grinding machine screech straight into the opening chords of this song, straight into Happy Bridge at the end, right? It's a continuous
Beautiful.
epic all the way through Kill
Seamless.
Everyone Now. It's just this endless wall of music that thematically and musically just ties together. So that's fucking genius. This is, I have to say, this is one of those songs that it's easy. It has been easy for me to not skip over. I've never skipped over it, but to just glance off of it. But it is musically fucking crazy. The riff, the John's riff, the way it mirrors Rob's riff, that is a kick-ass fucking bass line. This is a really, really good song. And it's not often that I think, and I could be wrong, I don't feel it's often that Rob and John mirror each other so directly. But in this one, like the drums are
Right.
doing the same riff, the digga digga dig, doom, doom, digga digga dig, and they're both doing it together, and it's so fucking, it's glorious. I really, really love it. And I mean, this is one of those songs where Rob is just
telepathic. Telepathic
yes,
shit.
exactly. He's just dripping with irony and cynicism, and the way that they have this respect, humility, going over the madness and death, and you have those two strains going at once, right? Like one's the sort of like happy, yes, respect and humility, and then the reality of the world of madness and death is just constant underneath, and you can't fucking escape it. But the fact that they play those two things together, and the way Rob delivers both of those lines is just fucking beautiful. It's beautiful. Both sides of the spectrum.
Right.
You know, like what we want to believe versus that truth that's just hiding right underneath.
Right.
Yeah, and this is like that dark character that Rob sometimes inhabits, you know. So I don't know, it's not his actual point of view. We talk about real love, which is a capital T truth. This is not, to me, Rob singing from that place. This is Rob singing from there is truth in this, but it's him inhabiting a dark character, and he inhabits that for a lot of his songs. And in this one, I feel like he's fully in that. And of course, the way it goes into Happy Bridge it's just fucking joyous. It's so fucking good. I think it's really perfectly placed on this album. Again, I love how it just flows from Machine into Happy Bridge. It's amazing. I really loved listening to this song over and over and over this time. I don't normally do that with this song, frankly. I do like it a lot, but it's not one that I would hit rewind on automatically like I do some of their other songs.
Hit rewind.
Yeah, no, I do on a lot
Love
of their
it.
shit. I'm like, gotta hear that again. But
That's how we used to
It's-
listen, kids.
it's deceptive in its kickassery. I think like it's
Right.
that bass line it's fucking phenomenal. It is so tight. He almost plays it so good that you don't realize how fucking complex it is, because he just makes it sound so fucking easy. But that is not
Right.
a simple.
That's an
line
artist
that he's
for you.
playing.
That's what
an
artists
artist, yeah.
do.
So, what do you think, Matthew?
I have a complicated relationship with this album because it is, it's what came after what happens when Andy leaves. And so it took me a long time to come around to it, actually. Is this what No Means No is going to be? But I do enjoy, because it is a dialogue. It's a dialogue between Rob and other Rob. And it is also a dialogue between Rob and John, of course. So this is maybe one of my favorite songs off of this album. and it's certainly one of my favorite bass playing songs. But I have, listening to it in isolation, again, like happens to us so often on this podcast, happens to me, is I have so many questions about what inspired it. I really like the bridge with the or chorus, I guess, with the hi-hat and the 16th note hi-hat and bass hits.
Yeah.
It's interesting, Michelle, that you should say that it reminds you of stuff that might come later. It actually reminds me of stuff that came earlier to me. It's the dancey feel of so many songs off of 0 + 2 = 1. That you can shake your ass to, which is something that kind of people don't really talk about. Something that
this is
happens
a No Means No
Means
dance song for sure.
Totally.
Yeah. Unlike Real Love, which you cannot dance to.
Yeah, you can.
You can, but
you can emo dance to it.
Emo dance to it. Yeah, very much so.
Dance to it.
Yeah.
Goth dancing.
Goth dance to it.
Yeah.
Weep in a catacomb to it.
But this you could be on the fucking disco floor shaking your ass to this song, man. This is a prog masterpiece on that level.
Oh
yeah, no, totally.
God.
It's got so much. The song's got so much. I love how it leads into Happy Bridge. I love the dialogue between the bass and drums. It's got distortion. It's got syncopation. It's got chromatics, or what I think of as chromatics, even though I don't know what chromatics are, perhaps. So many questions. The thing about lies and how everything is a lie, and everything, all your expectations are what is in front of your nose, the carrot before your nose, and everything is being led. You're being led by lies. It's an interesting comparison between Madness and Death and All Lies, because both are songs about lies. Very much. Yeah, very much so.
It's depressing.
I feel a little like incoherent talking about the song because so many questions came up, and I have a lot more thinking to do about it. I mean, this if that glow were blue and white.
I love that line.
If the glow were red and black, and what's a black glow?
Right.
And what
your
do they mean
soul,
by it? It's like
your dead soul of hate and pain.
Is it blue and white? Is it good and cheery? The red and black is evil and chaos. I'm just not sure.
But that line is fucking glorious. The fact that blue and white, right, clearly these angelic sort of colors, and if that's the reality, would there be space for the dark subconscious that gives rise to dreams? And if it was, and yet if it was,
are you guys
black
hippies?
And red? If it was black and red, would you want your money back? Right? Like God, that line's fucking gorgeous.
Anyway, I'm going to sum up in this song. I love the contrast in that I think that Rob probably had questions too. Madness and death are death is an inevitability and madness is probably a certainty for most of everything that leads up to death. So might as well have a dancey little bass and hi-hat riff.
That's your little number to help you out.
This album is the sort of album that I feel like one of us is going to at some point have to turn it on, synced up to The Wizard of Oz, like you do with Dark Side of the Moon, and see how it tells a story. Because I really feel like there's a underlying narrative under all of this, and the way that each song flows into another, and how it comments on the song before and after it. And
but I have to say, I don't know if weed would be the drug that would be useful.
Probably not. But it might have to be something a little harder.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Michelle. No, you already went. So weird.
I
that
did
all of us?
go.
That's it.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Here we go. All right, everybody. Next song is All Lies. Here's a bit of All Lies for your ears.
Lies are the hopes and the chains that have dragged me here to you. All of these hopes and these chains I will gladly share with you. It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. It's raining, it's pouring, and I'm falling. And he said, pray to me, all I love
right, Michelle, have at it.
What about it?
Yeah, what do you think of it?
I'm just it's from a movie. Anyways, I like the very strong and hard beginning that leads into Rob's delivery of a softened tale, which at the end ends in some serious suffering he's gone through. This guy wears his heart on his sleeve, and his love songs always display loads of pain and letdown. Oh, Rob. I love Rob. The music, as usual, is as epic as the words, with terrific build-ups that come crashing down. It's a towering song that gets to the heart of having your heart broken. He's a master of these doozies.
Nice.
It sounds very much like I'm reading comments that I wrote, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I listen to the song and I pick up the pen and I start writing, and that's what I wrote. So
Hey,
it's
that's what
not
we're here
very
for.
personal. It's not very off the cuff, and I hope I don't give myself a disservice by sounding like I'm reading off of a paper, because that is actually what I'm doing. But anyways,
I don't think it
wrote
matters.
that. I wrote that all
Nice.
by myself.
All right. Well, I would agree with all that. And
Thank you.
this is one of my top 3. No Means No songs of all time.
No shit.
Yep. This is one that could go all the way for me. I could push it all the way down the field if I had my druthers.
Well, guess I know how you're voting tonight.
I remember sitting in that dorm room, right? This is the first album I heard. And when this song came on, I had fucking tears coming out of my face.
Honey.
Because it was so powerful. I think this song is from another place. I think this song is genius, is a masterpiece. So this is like No Means No's epic nursery rhyme, right? Here's another a song about love and isolation.
Right.
I don't want to overanalyze the lyrics here, although I probably will, because I think that everyone needs to hear and feel this for themselves. But this song really speaks to me past the intellect. It just grabs my guts in a different way. It cuts deeper. I mean, you can read this song as being about how one uses or people use lies intentionally and unintentionally to capture people into relationships, how it's unavoidable to do so, how that's like at once a beautiful and inevitable yet violent, destructive thing. I mean, it's all of that. I mean, you can simply look at it as a song about lying to people you love and them lying to you and the pain of seeing through those lies. But I also feel like there's more behind it. I mean, maybe that's just me, but there's also something in this. This is a perfect example of a tool that No Means No uses across a lot of songs. And I love this. They make a very small change to a verse. So she said, pray to me, goes into I said, pray to me,
Right.
goes into he said, pray to me. And in each of those verses, the vocal performance becomes more aggressive, more cutting. And it's in those, for me, those small changes where all of the meaning is hidden. Everything to me about the song, the largesse of the song, the what I feel like is hiding under the surface is in those little details, the way it changes and what that means. Is that because that could go from, is this the lie of the mother into the lie of the lover into the lie of God, right? You've got she, I, he. I mean, there's just there's all these trinities you could map this onto that make this so huge. And then in between every verse, these magical sort of lyrical lullaby nursery rhyme verses, you have this violence of, but it was all lies. Fuck that, right? You just have the person rejecting all of it. And yet finding the beauty in wanting to share those lies as the thing that binds you every time he's back on the hook. And it's fucking gorgeous. Rob plays like most of this, like one note the whole fucking time until the verses, until the bridges. And it's John who's under there just making that one note into something wholly other.
You just made my hair stand up with that line you just said.
He's turning it into this complex tapestry. How do they do that? How do they make like a drone become something so fucking not a drone, I mean, clearly it's obvious because the drumming is gorgeous, but the way it
they're
works
giving
with
a
it,
shit.
it's not. It plays with it. It's not just a great drum line over
Yeah.
a drone.
Ow.
It works with it. It makes it fucking work. And this is the song this album should have ended with. I love Life is Hell. I love Wrong. They're great. But for this album, this absolutely was right that this was the closing song. This was the closer. And it's even on the way like they let the last bass tone go and they just let it ring until it's all the way gone. It does not get cut off. It's just one last bass tone that just leads you out. And it's so lonely and gentle. Yeah, guys, this song, I just fucking love this song. It's again, it's one of my top three.
That's beautiful, George.
Cuts
Everything you
right
just
to my
said.
guts.
Beautiful.
Anyway, all right, Matthew, what do you think of this guy?
Something that happens in this podcast when you're talking to a couple of other idiots, and we should probably reiterate that I've never met Jordan in person. We're in separate cities, in separate countries, and we watch each other on Zoom while we listen to each other on the thing that we record on. To see Jordan talking about this song kind of changes how I feel about it. I mean, dude is touching his face. Dude is like on the edge of tears, honestly, and it's really fucking touching. And I am almost angry at this point at whoever made the decision, as you just said, to tack other shit onto this album. I think it fucked this song up for me. I've said before, like in a previous thing, how you've already eaten the whole meal of No Means No,
right.
of Wrong, and there's just more of it. And I just maybe after Oh No Bruno, I just kind of stopped listening a little bit. So for this song to have been last, that was the appropriate place for it, but it wasn't on any of the. I had a tape, I had a CD, and it was never last. I think maybe I would feel differently about it had it been last. Had it been in that place. I think it kind of took the piss out of it a little bit. It's a brilliant song, of course, but it's also one that I never listened to carefully because of where it was. But yeah, I mean, I tried to give it the isolated listen that we try to do on this podcast. Quickly, is it Bag of Lies or Pack of Lies?
Pack.
Yeah,
Pack
I
of
thought
Lies.
it was pack.
The lyrics say pack, but I always thought it was bag. Anyway,
Pack.
no big deal. I love the fact that you talked about the different pronouns. I hadn't even noticed that. Says the linguist. But anyway, getting to the song, I've never been particularly fond of the pace of the song. I think I might change on a re-listen to it. I love the fact that it's a nursery rhyme, a warped nursery rhyme, and how they are clearly alluding to the nursery rhyme. It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring.
Right.
But they don't actually explicitly use the words from the nursery rhyme until like close to the end.
Right.
It's a very tender song, and tender and tragic because, it's almost like it's saying that lies are the only thing that permits that, abets togetherness. So because it's the only thing that we are allowed to, how to even say this, to trick each other into being able to tolerate each other long enough for togetherness to happen. So, lies are dangerous, but they're also essential. It's possession. They allow us to possess each other. So, there's some innocence because of the reference to the nursery rhyme, but you're falling. You try really hard to idealize everything, maybe love, maybe connection with others, but it's all tempered with lies. So anyway, I need to do some more thinking about the lyrics, but in terms of the music itself, I mean, I love the drums as they come out of the bridge, the thundering tom fills and yeah. Anyway, I'm affected by what Jordan said. And I'm gonna have to do more thinking about this song.
Yeah, you can put your feelings into words like
Yeah.
pretty mightily, man.
But,
Well,
uh,
with this
guys
song,
can.
this
I
song,
love
it's
the-
not hard because it's you know,
Yeah,
it lives in my guts for sure.
I know, but you
Lies-
could just say it's great, but you don't. You just
Lies.
beautiful.
I mean, they betray the person they're being told to, but they also betray the liar.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an incredible song. So
Wow.
Well, now I'm
I
terrified.
feel like I just went to the shrink.
a good no means no listen should make you feel that way.
Yeah.
It really should. All right. Well, I'm terrified. I'm closing my eyes. Michelle, you're first. Vote.
I'm the first vote. Well, I'm going to get a big hug from you because I am all lying.
Oh, thank God. I was going to have to shut down the podcast.
No. I won't let you down, baby.
Which would be fine because we kicked
no.
Life is Hell out and it's fair is fair.
No, you
Although it
didn't.
could come back.
Life is not hell. It was
Yeah.
life in hell.
All right. Well, I think
In.
it's
Like
pointless
this was
for me
a
to even
Matt
put my
Groening
vote.
cartoon.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's pointless for me
Right.
to put my vote out, but clearly my vote is for Madness and Death. So, Matthew. No, I'm just kidding. All lies. Of course.
Baldwin.
I think if I spent another week listening to these songs, I might feel differently. I have to give it to Madness and Death.
All right.
Because of it's the song off of that album that made me feel
Excellent.
connected to previous No Means No when I was worried about where No Means No was going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice vote.
That's great. That's great. Well, listen, we've put
Wow.
All Lies through, which I'm breathing a huge sigh of relief, and Real Love, which I'm super happy for.
Oh, real
But
love is scary, man.
it's real scary. I am not at all pleased to be sending Lonely, nor Madness and Death down to the dustbin. And again,
Well, why do we
reminder:
have to
some
do
of these,
this
some of these
format
can
anyways?
come back. Some of these could come back. It's all arbitrary. We're just fucking idiots. Who the hell? What do we know? But here it is,
There's
objectively
going
for
to
all
be
time.
rioting in the streets. I'm telling you.
Probably. I mean, frankly, almost everyone has agreed with me on Baldwin. So, I'm sorry that I seem to be more in touch with our listening audience.
I still stand by my vote with that one. I've listened to that podcast several
as well
times.
you should. As well you should. And I think
standing
those
by
people
it.
who voted for it are probably truer fans.
This is the first one where my choice didn't go through.
It's true. Nice.
Ooh.
Nice. And lucky for you, Michelle voted the right way, or else the podcast would have been over.
Oh, here
That
we
would have
go.
been sad.
All right, tough guy.
No, I'm kidding. Listen, at some point, one of my babies is going to die. I know it. It's going to be Mary. It's going to be the river. Something's going down.
Oh,
and I'm gonna
Mary.
fucking-
Oh, my God.
gonna
I don't
puke
even
my
want to
guts out.
show up on that day. Oh,
I'm
my
going to puke
God.
my guts out. All right. Well, listen, everybody. Really thankful that you've spent this time with us. This at this
a long
point,
one.
hour. This is an hour.
I'm
but
sorry
they were
you
long
had to hear
songs.
me
What do you
sing.
want?
Real
No,
love,
no, I'm
real
not. That was
long.
great. Real love, real long. And don't forget, you can reach out to us at No Means Nothing on Twitter, at No Means Nothing on Instagram. If you haven't seen the Facebook group, what's the Facebook group called? Why can't I fucking remember? Anyway, there's a great No Means No Facebook group. You'll find it. There's only really one.
No,
Join
means no, more right, or we're
Yeah.
so right, we're wrong.
We're so right,
Yeah,
we're wrong.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right. Also, I want to give a shout out. Andy appears on a new LP.
oh, yeah.
Right now. It's called Double Rainbow, and you can find it on Bandcamp. And I just ordered it. I've only listened to some clips. It sounds fucking cool as hell.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I always want to make sure that we're giving shouts out to all of the projects for any of these guys that are out there. So this just hit. So, well, by the time this comes out, it won't have just hit, but maybe by then you'll have had a chance to hear it.
Watch
All right,
the preview
guys.
video of the album, too. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Have you seen that little video they
I
sent?
have. Yeah, it's great.
It's great.
So Matthew, Michelle, again, thanks as always. And, just remember everybody, only so many songs can be sung with 2 lips, 2 lungs, and 1 tongue.
You sick and tired of the same old